and welcome to New South Wales. This is a tiny home getaway that I'm staying on with my partner for our second anniversary. It's called Solwood. This is a little tiny home behind me here, and I really wanted to, it's our last day, and I wanted to take a moment to talk about a very specific camera that I brought with me on this trip. Even though I've got my Sony a7C and my a7 IV that I'm filming on with now, but it's a camera that I've decided I really want to enjoy bringing for the memories. And it is my Pentax K1000. Now, this is a film camera, a very old film camera that I picked up probably 2 months ago, and I've shot on 2 or 3 times. And I decided I really wanted to bring it along because I wanted to use some film for this adventure, and this camera in particular, well, it's quite nice a camera to use. So the Pentax K1000 is a pretty interesting film camera. It is fully mechanical except for a little battery slot for the light meter, but I actually just use an app on my phone for that now. I haven't bothered with getting the battery. It has got a maximum shutter speed of 1/1000, and it can go as low as a single 1, which I haven't tried just yet. I'm still learning about if there's any faults. Luckily, I purchased it in pretty good condition and I haven't had an issue with it just yet. And of course, it comes with my favorite thing when it comes to a mechanical camera. It has this little lever here for advancing the film. So the camera itself is also fully metal except for the grip that is wrapped around the side as well to give this nice sort of texture so you can hold on to it, doesn't slip right out, and it is sturdy. One of the great things about this camera in particular, and a lot of the older ones as well really, is that they have these really sturdy makes. And the prime lens that I'm rocking with this right now is a 50mm Pentax A prime lens, goes down to f2, so I can get a lot of that subject separation. I do want to do a little bit of film headshot portrait tests with this just to really enjoy that feel, but overall it is honestly a really enjoyable camera to take photos with, so let's take one of this. It is a wonderful, versatile lens. If you've got any recommendations for a lens that could be a bit wider for landscape photography or even some zoom telephoto lens, then send them in the comments below, because I don't want to go too far into film, he says, but what I do want to do is I want to have maybe another secondary lens that is going to cover a little bit more when I need it to be a bit wider, because the 50mm is really wonderful and it punches in and I can get in closer, but when I'm in things such as my tiny home, it's a bit hard to take photos when it's so zoomed in such a small space. So let me know your recommendations if you are a film photographer. So why have I decided to really talk about this camera? I mean, I brought down my Sony a7 IV, I brought down the a7C, I brought down my 24-70 for some general photography. It covers a massive range that this 50mm can only cover one range of. And I actually brought down my 70-200 to try some birding, which didn't go very well at all. And I brought down what I'm filming on now, my 20mm G 1.8 prime, which I used for some astrophotography. And I got some interesting shots out of that, which I've never done astro before, and I'm really interested in doing a little bit more. And the 20 felt very good, and I know that going wider might be a better option. But this camera in particular, I brought it down because it feels like this is my own little personal memory-making machine. There's something about film that holds the memory a lot better, and it's really important. And I just noticed that when I shoot film, somehow my film photos tend to last longer than my phone photos. And because you have so many of them, but film, you've only got 1 or 2 of them, you're really considering those shots. And not to say I don't use my phone, because I definitely do, but it really just brings me back to a time where I would come out to a campground with my parents and my family, and mum or dad would whip out their point and shoot at the time and take photos. And those photos still exist to this day somewhere in a shoebox in my mum's cupboard. And so I just think, you know, I need to start doing things like that. or at least I need to start printing my photos. So I brought this out because it's a wonderful little camera. You definitely don't have to get this particular one, a point and shoot or an SLR that is automatic and has a bit more freedom really, and assistance would be just as good. I have one of them at home too that I learnt on, but I would encourage you to consider getting a film camera and taking it out on journeys with friends that are less for social media and more for you. Other than that, I hope you enjoyed this video and I will see you in the next one.